Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. Today we are looking at a brown ink from Bung Box. Bung Box Tortoiseshell Brown. Thanks goes out to the person who sent me this. I really appreciate it. And for providing the sample. Let's see, let's take a look at this ink. This is our comparison panel. This is a nice dark brown, another brown. This is always the time of year that I like to go over all of my browns, because brown is not really my favorite brown, and this really isn't my favorite month. So, there's our ink comparison. Ink swatch and water resistance test shows it does have the tiniest bit of water resistance, but not enough that I would feel comfortable putting it on the outside of an envelope. Here is our toilet paper chromatography. I see this black dark spot in the middle, the same one that we see here. And then there's this purplish brown, and then right along the edge there's a yellow. So that is very interesting. And here is our ink painting of the day. Today's pen we'll be using the Noodler's Conrad in Tortoise Mesa Tortoise. I thought that was fitting. So let's take a look at some. Oh, but first let's do ink review. I'm sorry, let's do a writing sample. Doing the ink review, we need to do a writing sample. Okay. So this is Bung Box. And it's Bung Box. Not Bunga. Bunga, like cowabunga. It's Bung Box. Bung Box. Bung Box Tortoise Tortoiseshell Brown. This is with pressure. Let's do a little non-pressure. Does have a little trouble keeping up with this nib. It might be just my nib, but it's Noodler's pen, so they're slightly temperamental. Let's take a look at this. So with no ink, with no pressure, it's a very different color from where there is lots of pressure. So maybe this is considered to be an extra fine, and this would be considered to be maybe a medium broad lines in the swell. So maybe something to consider. Okie dokie. Alright, let's do some paper review, shall we? This is the Pen and Gear Memo book from Walmart.com. There is no feathering. And no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is lightweight traveler's notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Super lightweight traveler's notebook paper. Wait, that's not the one. This is the one. There's no feathering. A normal amount of ghosting. This is Moleskin 70 GSM. A little bit of feathering bled to the page. Field Notes Journal. A little bit of spread. A little bit of bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. This is Fabriano Eco Qua 85 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. A Yush 100 GSM paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Leuchtturm 1917. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Midori MD paper. No feathering, no bleeding, little bit of ghosting. 52 GSM Tomoe River. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Cosmo Airlight 75 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. This is the Jot Journal from the Dollar Tree. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Marmonimosity 80 GSM Dot Grid. I don't know what is wrong with this page, but this is not how it usually is. It's feathering into the page and it is bleeding through the page. But that's not normal. We're going to come back to this one because I just did the review again. Alright, this is Oxford Optic paper. Tiny little bit of feathering. Alexa, stop. A little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. B7 bulky. A little bit of no bleeding, no ghosting. Clairefontaine 90 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. A little bit of feathering, bleeding, and ghosting. Up and Up Wide Roll composition book. Target.com. No real feathering. A little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. True Red composition book. Staples.com. A little bit of feathering. A little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Apica 81.4 GSM. A little bit of feathering. A little bit of ghosting. This is the Nanami 7C 68 GSM Tomoe River. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Rhodia dot pad, 80 GSM. A little bit of feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Artist Loft, 100 GSM paper. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. And this is Buffet handmade paper from Italy. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of no bleeding, no ghosting. This is U-style notebook paper. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of ghosting. This is Sheffield Home Paper Goods. A little bit of ghosting, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of ghosting, bleeding and ghosting. CVS Caliber notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Oxford notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Mead wide ruled notebook paper. Feathered like a chicken, bled through the page. 5-star notebook paper. Feathered like a chicken, heavy ghosting, bled through the page. Akabe cross-section pad, had some trouble grabbing the page. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. Barely any feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. JNB copper plate graph pad from johnneilbooks.com. No feathering, barely any bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. So, okay, let's do a comparison panel. Okay, this is definitely a browning today. Nothing funny about this ink. Oops. Let's do a comparison panel to see where this ink lies. Okay, so this is Bung Box Tortoise Brown. So I'm trying to get it where it's not in my view so I can see the screen and everything. There we go. Alright, this is Bung Box Tortoise Brown next to Waterman Encre Havane, Vampire Red, Raw Sienna, Infinite Cube, Queen of Hearts, Red Black, Hippo Purple, Yumi Murasaki, William Shakespeare, this one's kind of close, Callie Brown, Honey, Golden Brown, Burley Wood, Tiara Colorada, Dusted Truffle, Saddle Brown, Document Urban Sienna, Smoky Quartz, this one's kind of close, Schaefer Script, Lita Tay, Gitsin Yabarna, Polar Brown, Walnut, this one's darker, Monteverde Scotch Brown, this one's kind of close, Yuletide, Brown Sugar, Nanita's kind of close, Grand Canyon's kind of close, Mason Song, Muskrat, Ginger Chicken, SBRA Brown, Ochre's kind of close. Beaver, pumpkin cake, Kiowa pecan, terracotta, Encre brune, golden brown, brandy snap, sepia, autumn oak, cognac brown, tobacco sunburst, Rome burning, coco de Brazil, sepia black, whaleman sepia, sepia, beaver dam brown, pick me up, crystal topaz is kind of close, Becky, summer solstice, winter spice, Carcos brown is kind of close, chocolate pudding, chocolate brown is kind of close, burnt sienna, nude, and lady rose in gold. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? You guys looking for a brown ink? Let me know in the comment section below. That's all I have for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.